What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So I saw a comment from one of my longtime audience members. I think probably around 5-6 years. This audience member of mine has participated in the conversations on this channel. So shout out to you, Errol. I think this is something very unique in terms of the way we think about why the seasonal characters are actually what they are. So the comment basically highlights the possibility that the Division 3 is years away. Hence, it seems like the developers are trying to stretch the content using these seasonal characters as their filler. Now, the implications of this is actually really huge, which means if they're using this as a filler, then the question to ourselves as a community is, why should we even bother dealing with the content at this point, especially for those of us who are waiting for the next Division game? Why not just go ahead and just wait, and then when the next Division game is actually here, then we play. And I've been seeing a lot of people take this approach. I've been reading comments, and thank you for all of you who've been actually engaged in the conversation and leaving your comments here. I've been seeing a lot of you actually talk about this and say, I'm just going to wait for Division 3 because it clearly seems to me like, the developers don't necessarily know how to add a fresh aspect to this game. Now, I will push back against that a little bit because they're bringing that Brooklyn DLC. So let's see what that actually has to offer at that time. However, yes, I can partially, in a sense, agree and take that into context and say, okay, yes, as for now, there doesn't seem to be anything fresh with regard to this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this comment real quick. Now, Arrow writes and says, they have to do something if Division 3 is years away. Stretching the old content over and over is not enough to bridge over to Division 3. We need something like West Side Pair at the end of Division 1. Otherwise, people move on. In terms of mode, don't forget Underground in Division 1. It wasn't the same as, it was the same 3 or 4 objectives in every mission, but in my opinion, was a masterpiece. I mean, obviously, Underground was actually solid. That's why you see me using Underground footage from the other day that I played. The dark apocalyptic setting in Division 1 was amplified in this mode. No snow on the ground, but this dark atmosphere, this claustrophobic feeling, the level design, it was a great mode. So yes, I agree that they need to basically do something in this interim right now. And this is why players are saying this. And this is why players are wanting to take that approach to actually say, what's the need to bother if this is all just going to be a filler in a sense? Because having everybody restart from, from scratch, which again, like I've said, guys, and I'm going to caveat this, it may not be the popular side to go with. I have no problem with. I want to check it out. I want to see it for myself, right? It's kind of jarring to a lot of players in a sense. So I can see how they can bring that particular approach and then players go and say, man, what are y'all doing? This is not necessarily what's going to hold down the fort pending when the DLC for Brooklyn comes into play. And so I think what many people are probably going to do is they're going to basically tune out. They're going to wait for, for the Brooklyn DLC. Or some people basically are going to tune out and probably wait till Division 3. Some people are looking forward to other games that they'll probably engage in, First Descendant and whatnot. Some people have already finished their expertise systems. They've already grinded the entire game. So unless there's another leveling system that comes with the Brooklyn DLC that is worth doing. But again, here's the thing. This is a double-edged sword. And I'm hoping the developers are paying attention to this. You've put your community in a place for the last, number of years, since 2019, 2020, 4 years, where you've told them to grind and level up and get strong and get powerful. Now you want to basically have them do the seasons that they've been doing and running with those very powerful characters by resetting them. You do know that when you bring out the Brooklyn DLC, you've communicated now already to your community that, hey, all your grind and all your effort, at any point in time, we can render it not necessarily useful or effective or, to be touched anymore. Basically, we've deemed that your time is invaluable to us. So when we bring another system and we expect you to play it, how do you expect the player base to respond? Now, somebody like me, I already knew, I've been already on to you guys at Massive for years. I've been a huge fan, don't get me wrong. But I already knew that you guys would like to do stuff like this to stretch the game. So I don't bother with the grinds. Remember, all y'all remember, you guys are all witnesses, right? I hit shade level 1000 just like the other day. Even on 3 characters, because I never bothered to grind all that nonsense, except during my own time and when I pleased and wanted to do that. That's all. That's how I approach the division, because I know that at any point in time, or at some point in time, all that work can basically be thrown away or, put aside for something that the developers may think is ooh and shiny. And I think, maybe the player base is probably going to start to finally take this approach, which it's your choice if you want to take whichever approach. Some people like the min-max and such. Nope, I go for the bare minimum because at some point I believe my build may be rendered useless. And it's funny, I've used the exact same build for about 4 years now. But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and put this out here. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Peace out.